You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Thursday, February 14th, 2019. This week on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, we are talking about purity. We started by talking about Our Lady of Lourdes and St. Bernadette. Then we reflected on our own pristine baptismal gown and how we need to quest to keep it perfectly clean and to keep our hearts pure. Yesterday we talked about modesty and how we need to keep certain parts of our body veiled as respect for the wonderful, loving God that created us. Today we are going to be talking about our eyes. Now, that might seem like a funny thing to talk about this week when we're talking about purity, but we need to remember that our eyes are like the windows to the soul. Many philosophers have described it that way. And a lot of the times, the things that we see, the things we allow our eyes to take in, can play a big impact on our purity. And like we said, the things that we see and take in can stain that beautiful baptismal gown that we had on our baptism. So we need to protect and really guard our eyes. Now, the unfortunate truth is that in this world, there are lots of bad things that we can look at and that we can allow our eyes to take in. Most of these things are pictures or videos, and there can be lots of different ways that they can be bad. They can be overly violent. They can use language that are not appropriate. We can watch people acting in horrible ways, or we can watch people that are not practicing modesty. Chances are your teachers and parents are watching out for you and only showing you things that are good and pure and will lead to your holiness. But, my friends, you will come to a day where you get to make these decisions for yourself, where you get to decide what you are going to watch when you turn on Netflix, where you get to decide what types of magazines you will pick up and what sort of things you will allow your eyes to take in. And in the world that we live in, there is a lot of temptation. A lot of the times, the movies or videos that have bad things in them are still good stories or interesting in one way or another. And yet we need to make the difficult choice that risking my purity, that staining my soul is not worth this entertainment. In fact, even certain video games can show us terrible images that stick with us and really do leave a stain on our souls. And so, as members of the modern world, one of the biggest things that we need to do to protect our own holiness, to protect our own purity of heart, is to guard our eyes. Always think about what you are going to be watching, what you are going to be seeing. Remember that these things stick with us. It's not that we only see them for a moment and it's gone, especially things that are really bad. They stick with us in our mind and they bother us. And that's because we know they are bad and evil. And so, my friends, I know that this is something that you will be dealing with your whole life because that's what we do as Christians. We don't give in, we fight the temptation, and we guard our eyes for our whole life. But I would like you to just start thinking about this. Think about, how will I say no when I'm at my friend's house and they want to watch something that I know will have bad images in it? How will I say no when I'm alone, when I'm in college or an adult? How will I make the right choices to watch only things that are good and pure? How will I do that? Well, the answer to this is that you won't be able to do it by yourself. You will only be able to do this with the help of God. So lean on Him now and pray this prayer. Oh God, give me the strength to guard my eyes And please, Lord, help me to keep my heart perfectly pure for you.
That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God intended you to be. And quickly, one word about Lent. Lent is coming, and we at Catholic Sprouts have a brand new resource to offer you. This year, pray the Jesus tree with your family during Lent. It is similar to the Jesse tree, only it dives into all the events of Jesus' life, and there is a special devotion for each and every day of Lent. You can check it out and find out more about this really beautiful devotional at the website CatholicSprouts /Jesus-tree.